Hey ladies, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is all about a beginner's guide to transitioning into gray hair according to Vogue. Are you ready? Let's get this beauty started. So this article I recently read was all about Jack Martin. He is a celebrity color stylist in California, and he is taking women in a day to gray, which is absolutely incredible. He has had some famous clients from Jane Fonda to Andie MacDowell, and it's really interesting. It is quite pricey. I know that some pricing is starting at $4,000, and it's in between 6 hours and 14 hours to take you completely gray. So it just depends on where you are on that spectrum. I know a lot of women are loving that idea, loving the quick, fast track to gray. Some women are like, wow, that's really too much time, or that's too much money. And there's a lot of options for you. And it's really quite interesting though, that gray hair now is being idolized, not stigmatized. And you know, I went gray in 2015. I went cold turkey. I was on this journey, and I basically wrote a book about it in 2018 called Beauty Reinvented. And it's all about having confidence with gray hair and how to do it. And, you know, a lot of women were like, oh, if I look like you, or if I had your hair, I would do it, whatever. And I just got to the point where I was like, ladies, you either are in or you're out. That's how I felt about it. And I think it's because I came off that 4-year journey of IVF, just really hustling and just determined to make something work. And when I transitioned and was like, oh my gosh, my hair, I'm just gonna let it go, I was like, I'm either in or I'm out. I never looked back. I went through the hard times of the demarcation and the 4, 5, 6, inches of root growth. And I was like, it is what it is. And listen, I felt very uncomfortable. I felt very insecure. I felt very unattractive, but I kept my vision forward. And I was like, I can do this. How long can this last? It's not going to last forever. So I can keep cutting my hair. I can do all kinds of things. I can wear a hat, a scarf. We've gone over this in so many videos. So if you're thinking about transitioning, know you can go to a stylist and do a fast track and say, you know what? I'm ready. I'm going to do it. I'm going to put the time in the salon. I'm going to spend the money, and I'm going to do it. There's a slow track also. So in this video, I'm going to tell you 3 different things that are going to be really helpful for your gray hair transitioning. Now, number 1, what you will need to do before the salon visit, what are glamour streaks, and what you need to do to your colored hair before you go into the salon. Actually, I think that we should all be doing this, but this is a real key element for going gray. So if you did go to Jack and you were going to get your hair kind of transformed in that day, you're going to have 3 to 4 inches of root growth for him to really see your natural pattern of your gray hair. So he really matches. He's definitely an artist when it comes to kind of giving that pattern of gray that you naturally would have. And everybody has a different pattern, whether you're silver, grombre, gray. Everybody's hair comes in differently. Mine came in with first the big white stripe that I couldn't fight any longer, and then my hair is really dark in the back, it's light in the front. Some ladies are dark in the front, light in the back. You just never know. So what Jack will do is that he really will bleach your whole head to like the inside of a banana, like that pale yellow white, and then he starts toning, and then he starts really doing his magic. So that's the fast track on going through that whole process. And what you really want to do is you want to really strengthen your hair now, ladies, with treatment oils and deep conditioning oils, and just do a lot of treatments to the hair to add in moisture, to get your hair as healthy as possible. I've talked about scalp serums that really have helped me. You want to have healthy hair because we know dye really dries out the hair. It makes it brittle, it makes it dull. So you want to really reinforce your hair before you start that process of going to a stylist and going gray. So your stylist can take the formula lighter 1.25 cups each time. So you're going lighter gradually, and you can add in complementary highlights and lowlights to really just kind of give you that gradual, beautiful silver, grombre, or white hair, whatever you're trying to go, whatever your end goal is. So speaking of highlights and lowlights, so there's glamour streaks. So you can have beautiful white streaks added in the front of your face. It lightens, it brightens your hair, brightens your face. And that's a really great way to transition and have a little bit more of that contrast to your hair. Now, I had a client that had all white hair. It was short. She had very thin hair, and she decided to do a black stripe. And it was so cool, ladies. It was like the reverse. It was the opposite of what you would think you would do. And I thought, that is so cool. It was so dramatic. It was so striking because she wanted to have something that was just different, and her hair was so white. So I love that. I love that as an option. So think outside of the box. Just don't think, oh, I just need to do light around my face. Maybe you have a lot of white and you're like, you know what? I want to have some like really contrasting stripes down the front. It just looks so, so beautiful. So there's lots of options. Now I totally get where the Anne Bancroft, where everybody says I look like her, because she had those streaks in her hair, and it's really just something interesting. It's intriguing. It can give you kind of a little creative power when you're designing your hair as you're transitioning. I think it's a really wonderful thing. And who doesn't want to have a little glamour streak? Also, glamour streaks are easy to maintain. Every 3 to 4 months you're going in. So you're not going in every 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So you can stretch this out and not feel like you have a lot of maintenance. Maintaining your color in between salon visits is very important. And now the article said every 3 to 4 months you should be going into the salon to get trims and to get toning and glossing. But I have always gone in every 5 to 6 weeks. I have shorter hair, so I do have to maintain earlier than that. But when you have brassy hair, your hair looks dull, like the gray just looks dull and looks flat. You can do a toning. It's going to take out that yellow, that brassiness. You can also do a glossing treatment, and that's going to give you that really beautiful high shine. So they're saying with these two treatments, if you're doing a glossing or a toning, you can literally change gray hair between 5 and 15 minutes. It's just amazing. I've never done toning. I've always been a little bit nervous about doing toning on my hair, but when I booked the Pantene commercial in London and I was there, they did a glossing treatment on my hair. It was a clear gloss, and I was really excited to see like how shiny my hair looked, and it did. It looked like glass. It's beautiful. I eventually started my gray hair journey with the stripe. I let the stripe come out, and it was really interesting because I would wake up in the morning and forget that I had it, and then I'd be like, oh, I love you. You're so cool. And then the next morning I wake up, I'm like, I hate this gray stripe. Let me dye it. So I went back and forth a little bit, but then when I let it come out, my true self came out, my true personality. It was like pretending like everything's okay going through IVF. Why? Because it's taboo and weird. No one wants to hear about bad things. Well, you know what? I just wasn't up for pretending anymore. So it wasn't up for pretending about my hair anymore. It's maybe a 2-year journey by the time you transition from dye to your natural hair color. The old you just kind of is leaving, and you have the new you coming in. And that's how I looked at it. I think women are just tired of being conformed and being told that you have to dye your hair until the day you die. I mean, I don't really understand who made that up and why we just started to believe it. So I did feel rebellious. I did feel like no one's doing this. It's a hair color. I mean, that's really what it is. So the gloss treatments can take your hair to the next level when you are really wanting that extra power. Also, remember, stay away from chlorine, stay away from the sun, stay away from hot tools. That's very important. Jack says do not use hot tools when you are transitioning into gray. You don't want to have that dullness. You don't want to add yellow tones, and you don't want to be damaging the hair. Purple shampoos, purple conditioners, purple masks are so important. You know, I've talked about my favorites on this channel so many different times. I've featured so many different products, from purple shampoo from the drugstore to all the way to very luxurious products for doing hair masks that are purple, and they do work. They take out that brassiness. They brighten the hair. I'm always using shampoos that are purple, conditioners that are purple, really maintaining my hair brightness, and it depends on what's going on with my hair. I might use it once a week. I might use it once a month. It just depends on what's going on. But that is a wonderful way to really care for gray hair, care for silver hair, care for your hair during this transition. Style your new gray hair with care, but also with a bold, fierce, and unapologetic attitude. You know, that's my 3 words. Bold, fierce, unapologetic. I don't know when I I don't know when I started saying that, but that's exactly how you have to be when you are transitioning into gray hair. You have to be bold and say, you know what, I'm doing this. I want to do this. It doesn't matter what anyone says. I have to be fierce. Okay, I'm going to walk into the room and I have this gray stripe. I have 4 inches of gray roots. I'm going to be fierce about this. it doesn't matter what anyone says. I am stepping into my power. I'm a fierce goddess, and be unapologetic. Yep. I'm going great. Yep. This is on purpose. Yeah. This is what I want to do. It does not matter, again, when anyone says, ladies, it's your hair. You're wearing it, and wear it with pride. Wear it with that attitude that I love this. I'm just feeling free. I'm feeling authentic. I'm feeling all the feelings that you want and have suppressed. You can feel, yeah, I'm 75 and I have my gray hair and I love it. I'm 85. I'm 35. I'm 25. It doesn't matter how old you are. If you are going gray, you have the choice to embrace it or not. And there's nothing wrong with not embracing. And I've said this multiple times, but this video is about embracing that gray hair, about getting that gorgeous, glossy, silver, idolized, not stigmatized gray hair. So you want to really keep the heat styling tools to a minimum. Use a heat protectant. Again, stay away from chlorine and sun. If you are in the sun, there are sunscreens for the hair. I will also mention those below this video. One I love in particular. It's really, really great. Actually, there's 2 that I've mentioned before, which I really love. And just really understand that this is a movement for yourself. You decided to do this, and this is what you want to do, and you're coming out just feeling just beautiful, and it looks beautiful, ladies. And that's why we have that Silver Sister group. When we see each other out, we have a connection already. We have a connection through our hair. And guess what? At the end of the day, it's just a color. It's just a hair color. And if you go through all of this and you're like, you know what, I really don't like it, it's really not for me, you know what you can do? You can dye it. So you don't feel like you're in a box. You can do whatever you want to do because it is your hair. It's your vibe, your feeling, the way you want to look. And I'm always here to encourage you. I'm always here to support you. I have Beauty Reinvented on Facebook. We have over 14,000 women that come together that are going through this journey that, yes, it's hard, it's different, it's uncomfortable, you feel insecure, but we're all there to support each other. We're all there to say, hey, listen, it's a hair color. It's our movements. It's my decision. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed just the quick tips on how to fast track it to gray hair, how to slow track it to gray hair, you obviously know you can go cold turkey, right? Yeah, I mean, that's what I did. That's what I support. I say, you know what? If you're going to go for it, go raw and just do it and feel all those feelings. Watch yourself change. Watch your confidence go from 0 to 150 because you went through it. But it's not for everybody. It was for me, and that's why I did that. But I support every fast track, slow track, raw track, whatever track you want. So ladies, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on my next.